What a go on, people? I'm me, man, Mr. B, and today me want to have a small talk on the Vybz Kartel thing. It's just about 6 days now since Kartel walked out at the General Penitentiary down at Tower Street in Kingston, Jamaica, after serving just about 13 years, where he has been held for murder, him and three other co-accused. And of course, the appeal court finally determined that he should not be retried. And just to get a quick step up in terms of the information, of course, he was found guilty, and his attorneys decided to take the case to the Court of Appeal, asked for leave to take that appeal to the Privy Council in England, who ultimately overturned the, the, the verdict of the court, the lower court in Jamaica. In other words, they sent the case back to the appeal court in Kingston for them to make a decision as to whether he should be retried or them should have let him go. And when I get into the details of the case, because I want to focus on the music side of Kartel and the impact that I believe that him have on the music thing. So, you know, next time we'll look on that, or people can go research that themselves. But Kartel walk out of prison after 13 years, and in less than 6 days, Kartel has basically captured the attention of the fans of his music and music lovers around the world. In fact, he released an album, what you call First Week Out, and the album is #1 in 19 countries. It is dominating Apple Music charts, and as I said, #1 in 19 countries. Now, let me say this. From time immemorial, I was never a big fan of Vybz Kartel music. But I will say this, that as a man who research and follow and collect and commentate on Jamaican music and social issues, it is my view that Kartel don't have no equal as a lyricist in a Jamaica. That are my view. I'm a stand by that position there, right? And just in addition to that, I think what Kartel have over pretty much all of the man them are chant music as DJ and recording artists from a DJ standpoint, particularly within the dancehall sphere, is that Kartel understand him influence. He understand the marketplace of ideas as it relates to Jamaica music. He understands its running, its function. He understands its structure, and because he has this ability, this innate ability to work things through that sort of way. It is my view that him coming back on the street is going to change the dancehall business in a significant way. Let me put it another way. When Kartel left prison, not only was his departure from the prison covered by the local social media and some of the regular media fraternities back in Jamaica, but the event was beamed virtually around the world. Social media practitioners, because the information bus and people down in Jamaica camp out, and boom, information all over, throughout Africa, everywhere, right? And so this man has always had this ability to impact the music and his audience. He understood who his audience was, right? The man went to prison. He was arrested in 2011, and between 2011 and last week Wednesday, he spent every day in a prison, right? 13 years in a prison. And while he was incarcerated, he still managed, right? Still managed to maintain his relevance, right? He was named Recording Artist of the Year for 2019 by IRAMA, by the IRAMA Awards, right? Recording Artist of the Year and Best Male DJ for 2019. While in a prison, we may argue about how the system lacks and allow him to pursue a musical career, but that are for them. Made us look on the thing from a music standpoint. Me not interested in whether I'm guilty or not. As far as I'm concerned, the system failed to convict him, to have him serve out the sentence that they give him, because there were flaws in the system. And so, my philosophy is that it is better you let go a guilty man than you take positions that permanently impair the justice system within the country. And there were so many things wrong with how that trial manifested itself that it is my view that the court, and I think the Court of Appeal shared my view, that trying to keep the man incarcerated would have worked against people in Jamaica's belief and comfort, confidence even, in the local justice system to operate. And so, hence the argument, better you let go a guilty man rather than you compromise the system to such an extent that people lose confidence in it. And I think that is what happened. But back to the thing. Vybz Kartel has had a significant impact and influence on younger generation of Jamaicans. Certainly people under 40 years old. I'm over 40, and so my interest in his music is not from a collector standpoint, but from a lyrical generation and his ability to put lyrics together, his use of metaphors in terms of as a vehicle for delivering his message. People may argue that him use metaphors and people interpret, but you can't hold a man for our man interpret the things we him say, right? I believe that Kartel, in terms of his lyrics capability, his capacity to string lyrics together, his capacity to engage people. If you try listening to him, I remember some years ago, Professor Carlin Cooper invited him up at the university in one of them reggae lecture series, dancehall lecture series, and he had the audience mesmerized. That is not something you take for granted. And so here is a man who have all of this influence, and my sense is that now if he was able to parlay that influence while he was behind bars to such a degree that he maintained his relevance in the music over all of these years, what can he do now that he is free? And my sense is, if this first lick, less than a week after him come out, he has managed to string an EP together, send it out in a cyberspace, put it out there, and this EP is now #1 in 19 countries around the world. You cannot discount that kind of impact. So where does he stand? Clearly, yeah, there are quite a number of DJs practicing right now in Jamaica, and a lot of these younger DJs now don't really know who Vybz Kartel is, but I believe the dancehall space is big enough. It certainly is bigger than just the shores of Jamaica, because dancehall in a places like Zimbabwe and Ghana and Kenya, Vybz Kartel name a big name. I don't believe that there are many DJs operating in a Jamaica have that kind of reach. And so here is a man who understand the business side of the music, understand his influential role, right? And I am of the view that if he decides to turn the corner, right, and focus exclusively on the music. I hear him when he come out of the, this last week Wednesday, when he went into one of the limousine, him turn and said to the youth them outside, the audience, tell the youth them for Lego the badness, because a waste of time, that a waste, them a waste them life. Assuming that he mean what him say, and him can channel that as a newer message, right? I believe that he is going to be able to carve out a significant space. I don't share the view. My very good friend, professor at the University of the West Indies, seem to think a little differently. But I believe that the man is significant in terms of his impact, and that significance is going to continue. Again, I am not a legal person. The legal system had its job to do, and for what it is worth, he is now on the outside. And according to the rules of life and existence, if the system spit him out, who are we to try to castigate him for something that them can't do? If him guilty, the big man upstairs will deal with that in its own time. Me, I am concerned about the music. My interest is in his impact on the music and his ability to take that to another level. If him have this opportunity and don't use it, that is up to him. But I believe that all other things being equal, if this initial burst is an indicator, we're going to be in for a significant ride when, by the time he settles himself back into the free society. Let's hope that him can turn around, turn over a new leaf, because guess what? The Jamaica and the music business, we need to recognize here is a talent. The man served 13 years of prison already, and it's up to him the direction where him want to go. My thing is, as I say, where I look upon his work as an artist, and me believe that him not have no equal as a lyricist, and I am curious as to what will this new phase of his life gonna look like in terms of his musical output. I would have loved to get a feedback from the man them outside. I don't want to hear about the trial thing, because guess what? Me and you can't do nothing about that. Let's focus on the music, dancehall, and Vybz Kartel and its impact potentially upon the music going down the road. What you think about what me think? Give me that feedback there. And of course, if you like the commentary, subscribe to the channel. So when the next video drop, boom, say you that. And in the interim, maybe, get your comment, get your feedback in the comment section. Until then, I'm me, Mr. B. More time.